And thank you. I am spiritual teacher and psychic medium for nearly 25 years now, Anna Simon. I've been asked questions: what's the difference between twin flame, soul connection, and soulmate? And this is my opinion. And yes, I'm known for my soulmate readings, and my experience for 25 years has led me to see and what the angels have told me as well. And remember, this is my opinion, but you asked, so I'm going to give it to you in a tutorial. And a quick one too. Usually what happens is with the soul connection, it is people, people are drawn to us. It could be normally relationship, like my parents are soul connection, relationship that needs work, that we come to the earth to agree on, and we meet and we end up marrying them. Or it could be a best friend. Soul connection doesn't always need to be like in love, married, and so forth. It could be a best friend, it could be a coworker, it could be any of the lessons, learning lessons from them. Usually people tend, let me tell you, people tend to radiate to their soul connection, because usually it's very hard to radiate the soulmate, the twin flame, because you have to radiate, and we'll get into that in the coming one. People tend, with the soul connection, there's a lot of like blockages in there, and it's not 100% that it's what you hoped and dreamed for as a child, right? Because in reality, we're human beings, and as we're human beings, we're going to have those issues in our relationship, whether it's a soulmate, twin flame, soul connection. There's still going to be issues. It's not the fairy tale that TV tells, because we're human. So don't get sad if the person you feel is a soulmate or twin flame. Same thing. Definitely has problems or issues, or it's not what you expected, because it's not always going to be perfect. This is reality. We are humans. We are the biological body, and we have free will, and we're going to have opinions, or else we'd be robots, right? That doesn't make sense. Okay, back to this. Squishing it back. Soulmates are the same as twin flames, whether you want to believe it or not. It's your opinion to believe it, but in my experience, we call it two different things, but it's the same thing, same connection. There is only one soulmate, one twin flame. The twin of us, our souls uniting as one soulmate. It's very rare. Like I said, 35% in the world radiate to their soulmate, and a lot of my clients hear me saying this, and it's true, because you have to be in your higher spiritual self. You have to learn the lessons. You had to work within and love thyself to radiate the soulmate. You would have to go through strives of relationships that didn't work out. Okay? And then come together and self-love. And that's when God brings you the soulmate. Is a soulmate perfect? No. Soul connection, on the other hand, are people that are not the soulmate, that don't have the soul connection of enlovement completely, and that tend to not feel fulfilled. When you're with the soul connection, you feel happy, content, but not like the way you feel with the best friend of a soulmate, with the connection, with knowing each other's thoughts. It won't be like that. You'll be content. You'll have problems with the soul connection. You have to deal with some issues that they have, and who doesn't have issues, right? And sometimes they're hard. Some soul connections are very hard issues, like alcohol, drug abuse, things like that. Some are easier, where it's a clash of personalities. Or some people, tend to have soul connections where you're cheating or horrible things like that. And then you disengage, you divorce, or you break up. That's what you're supposed to do when things like that happen, right? You have free will, because you have to self-love. Those are soul connections. Soulmate, I don't even know. I guess I could express it the way I do. Like, for instance, I had soul connections in the past marriages that I had many years ago. And about 7 years, I got tired. And this is a real person, I'm telling you, really. I told God, you know what? I'm helping the whole world. I'm happy people all over the world. And you're not going to bring in my soulmate? This is ridiculous. Then I just want to work and help people, because this is not a job to me. This is more of a lifestyle to me with my career. And fine, I give up, wash my hands. Yes, I was dating on Match.com. I was online, and I was just, I'm not going to take this serious. At that point, I met my husband, and we were like texting and stuff like that. And then it was like New Year's Eve, and I cried myself to sleep, because about a couple of months ago, my ex-fiance, he's not the one apparently left and did his thing. But I cried myself to sleep, and I'm like, okay, it's a New Year's Eve and nobody's here. My kids are gone, and I'm crying myself to sleep, and everybody's having a good time downstairs. I could hear the party, and I cried. I woke up to a text, and it was my husband. Happy New Year. I think he sent it to everybody, and I responded, and he's like, oh, she responded. Do you want to have lunch? And this was like the following day. And so the long story short, I made it evening dinner, and we went to Chili's. Yes, he had coffee and I had a drink, and I'm like, why isn't he drinking? Realize that he doesn't drink. So I didn't get, soulmate. That's a first for me to have a soulmate. And soulmates are usually 100% opposite of what you're used to getting. Now, let me tell you, my husband was not the blonde 6'3" blue-eyed guy that I tend to get. He was 5'11", green eyes, dark hair, totally opposite, but handsome. And usually soulmates are better than anything we ever had in the past. So I was pleased, and he never left my side, and we're almost 7 years married now. And we had our turbulence through the marriage. We had our issues like any marriage, but we always heal. We could feel each other's soul, and it's just a connection. And we know that it's an unconditional love that doesn't go away. And soulmates will never leave. They will never divorce you. They will never leave you, because if you have a back and forth relationship, that's not a soulmate. That's more of a soul connection, okay? But that's my definition of soulmates, twin flames. Twin flame is a soulmate, just different terms. Soul connections are people you could learn, and you can marry your soul connection and be there till 50 years married, but you'll never have the true compassion or the true soulmate connection where you're like, oh, I did it, I met him. With the soul connection, it'll be a little different. And that's okay. You have free will. Soulmates are very rare. To radiate that, you have to self-love yourself, work on your issues, and be acceptance, like I did, that, hey, that's it. I never, at that point in my life, I cried myself to sleep saying, I'm just going to work and help people and forget it. I don't need to get married, need to find my soulmate. I released it to God. And when I released it to God, guess what? God gave it to me. Bada bing, bada bang, boom, boom, boom. So, if you met your soul connection, that's wonderful. But if you think that your soul connection is your soulmate, soulmates do not play games. They're not married to other people. God doesn't let the soulmate twin flame come when you're connected to somebody else. It just doesn't work that way. It's a radiate of energy. That's the best way I could explain it. You would have to be free physically to meet your soulmate. And that's okay. Don't be sad. You could still marry your soul connection if you met somebody that's coming out of a divorce or in a situation, which that would be a soul connection, wouldn't be soulmate. That's a long story. We can have a session. I'll explain it all to you. But that's the best bet of the difference from soul connection to soulmate. Soulmates don't leave. They marry you, and you live together. Soul connections can leave, and they come with some issues, and it's not as easy as it should be. And you decide to stay in it or you don't. And if you say, well, can I leave my soul connection and radiate my soulmate? Yes. But you have to work on yourself. You have to radiate and love thyself and value yourself and come together and not rebound and take that 60 days to find you, and you will radiate your soulmate. Well, that's the little tip and lesson tutorial. Went a little bit longer. If you're looking for a session, if you want to speak to me, you can email me at spiritwithinreach.com. That is spiritwithinreach.com. The links are below. Come like my page. Yay! And have a wonderful and blessed day.